I never would have met Leo if Sonia hadn't invited me to her birthday party. Sonia was a wonderful Polish artist who lived with her husband in this fabulous apartment right near the Ferrari Cathedral in Venice. She had emptied her studio for that night simply to accommodate a jazz trio. Fabulous party. Leo, a week later, invited me to his uh, home to have dinner with his wife and kids. And as we were traveling there, which took considerable walking and taking various vaporettos, water buses, uh, he said, I often go into prisons. And I said, really? Why is that? He said, well, to give the prisoners hope. And I said, well, that's an amazing coincidence because I spent the first 10 years of my life going into prisons. Then a few minutes later, he said, I'm also not just a player. He was a gifted cello player and storyteller, but also I'm a composer. And I said, oh, really? Interesting. What kinds of things do you write? And he said, well, many things, but I suppose because I'm a Jew and I live in Venice, I'm most proud of my piece, The Sorrows of Shylock. I said, excuse me? Is this a joke? Did your friends put you up to this? A joke? What do you mean? I said, well, I've been doing a one-man show for years called Shylock. Well, 2 years later, I did that show in Venice. The British consul was sitting in the front row with his wife, and I managed to sneak the August Gentleman into the script somehow with a bit of an ad-lib. And I put Leo on the program playing 12-minute fragment of his piece, The Sorrows of Shylock. A few years later, I managed to scrape together some money, get some rich friends, and bring Leo here to Vancouver to do a series of concerts. And while we were in the middle of one of these concerts, this woman who was standing next to me said, David, I'm the head of palliative care at the hospital, and it would be so wonderful if Leo might come and play for people. Do you think he'd do that? And I said, I guarantee you he'll do it. He's my friend, and I'm his runner for this trip. So, yeah, he'll do it. So on a Wednesday afternoon, we set Leo up with a bridge chair in the middle of the palliative care ward, and there were nurses going by with bottles of oxygen. There was a big Labrador dog visiting somebody and grandchildren. Many, many patients on gurneys and on wheelchairs and so on, with no hair and very close to moving on to the next realm. And Leo played the first three of the Bach unaccompanied cello suites. We were pretty much all in tears, including the dog, I think. And I turned to my friend and I said, if this is the last thing that I hear on earth, I think I will leave this vale of tears a happy man. Pickle. The gifts never really stop coming. Don't bother looking. Just keep yourself available.